balance between spiritual practice and action. Is it enough to just meditate? And if it's not enough, how do we engage in compassionate social action? Reverend Hozan Alan Senauke's work addresses these questions. He is a Buddhist priest, the vice abbot of Berkeley Zen Center, founder of Clearview Project, an organization that develops Buddhist-based resources for social change in Asia and the US. Their focus is on Burma and ex-untouchable Buddhists in India. He's also on the core faculty of the Apaya Zen Center's chaplaincy training program. And he is a father, musician, activist, and writer, not necessarily in that order. Please welcome Reverend Hozan Alan Senauke. Thank you.
Thank you, Berkeley. So first of all, since this is a conference that focuses on mindfulness, I'd like to encourage everyone to sit up for a moment and straighten your spine. And take 3 mindful breaths, breathing in and out fully. Try that. Now I would encourage you just turn around and look and see who's in the room. See who's near you, see who's in back of the room. See the wonderful people who have taken time on this gorgeous day to be here to honor and learn about the Dharma. And I bow to our monastic sisters and brothers. And I bow to all of the lay practitioners who are also continuing the Dharma. So our panel this afternoon is entitled, it's a panel on social justice, which I think of as the practice of engaged Buddhism. Now, some of you might successfully argue that engaged Buddhism is just Buddhism. It's always been engaged. But I think what we're trying to draw out is the way that our understanding extends from the Buddha's core teachings on the nature of suffering and liberation. And it helps us understand that the suffering we may experience as individuals is shared by whole communities, is shared sometimes by cultures, by groups, and that it may very well have its roots in the way we live in society, whether these are choices that we have made consciously or choices that may have been imposed on us, or choices that just seem like the communal norm in the way that Venerable Lecce was speaking about gender in the last presentation. And in those forms, we can experience suffering and oppression. We may be oppressed, we may be privileged, as some of us are, on the basis of our gender, our race, our ethnicity, our education, class, so on. We might suppose that what the Buddha Dharma teaches is the essential emptiness of all these identities. That may be true, but it doesn't go far enough. Because the idea of emptiness, in my understanding, is that it is empty of a fixed self. It's empty of a fixed identity, and that it implies the fact that we live in a reality that is totally interdependent, and that we co-create the reality that we are living in. So I'm thinking, my friend Pankaj Meshram here will speak about the father of modern Buddhism in India, who is an inspiration for me and an inspiration to millions of people in India. His name is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And I wanted to quote you something that he wrote that speaks to the topic of this panel. Positively, my social philosophy may be enshrined in 3 words: liberty, equality, and fraternity. Let no one, however, say that I have borrowed my philosophy from the French Revolution. Although actually, I kind of did, in part at least. I have not. My philosophy has its roots in religion and not in political science. I have derived it from the teachings of my master, the Buddha. So this afternoon, in the hour that we have an opportunity to listen to each other across a variety of communities here on this stage. And you have an opportunity to do this, to go outside and speak with each other, visit the booths, see all of the variety of Buddhist communities that we have just around the plaza. So what the panelists will discuss in their short time this afternoon, here's what they will discuss. They come from a variety of backgrounds and communities and experience. Their work, like my own, incorporates social service, activism, advocacy, meditation, and healing. And I've asked them each 2 simple questions. First question is, what are the particulars of your community and the social work that you do? And the second question is, how does your Buddhist practice support your social work and vision? So I hope we can all attend to these stories, and let me introduce our first speaker. Pankaj Meshram, who's right to my left, is a Buddhist from Nagpur, India. His family converted to Buddhism with Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar in October of 1956. This remarkable conversion ceremony that Dr. Ambedkar both participated in and then officiated in was attended by 500,000 people. Wow. So they do things on a very intimate scale in India. 500,000 people converted to Buddhism that day, and several million more in the following few days. So Pankaj has been an ardent follower of Dr. Ambedkar's vision of socialism and freedom, with Buddhism as his foundation. He's actively involved in many social projects, and he's currently secretary of the Ambedkar Association of North America. Professionally, Pankaj is a hardware design engineer, and he's the husband and father of 2 sons, living a peaceful and beautiful life in Denver, Colorado. So, Pankaj.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jai Bhim and Namo Buddhaya to everybody. So, I just said Jai Bhim, and this is the salutation, honoration we do as an Ambedkarite Buddhist. So Jai Bhim is a victory to Bhim, that's B.R. Ambedkar, his name is Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. So I'm very happy to be here and sitting on a very important panel on engaged Buddhism. And I feel privileged that I got an opportunity to come here, represent the organization, the ideas that we bring forth, the ideas that Dr. Ambedkar bring forth, India's Buddhism, new Buddhism that has been reviving in India, started with Dr. Ambedkar in 1956. And the prophecy that in Buddhism had been around that after 2500 years, there would be a bodhisattva who would come out and revive the Dhamma. And it is being said, and in honor of Dr. Ambedkar, that he is that bodhisattva who set the wheel of motion in action. And that year, 1956, is the 2500 years of the revival from the Buddha's Mahaparinibbana. So we all Ambedkarites, at least the families, grew up as seeing Dr. Ambedkar as Bodhisattva Dr. Ambedkar. And the theory and the philosophy that we carry forward is what we learned from him. So we all kind of bring to the table our sufferings. We kind of been with Dr. Ambedkar, at least we mean the society, in their struggle in the social justice, in the formation of the society, and coming to the tables from untouchables to the equal levels to everybody else, and achieving that freedom or trying to achieve that freedom. We can talk about how that freedom is achieved, whether it's politically achieved or religiously achieved, socially achieved or not, and political achievement of the liberty, equality, justice and fraternity did happen in India with the independence and acceptance of the constitution. And guess what? Dr. Ambedkar also happens to be the chief architect of Indian constitution. And the preamble portion of that constitution of Indian, preamble of Indian constitution, he talks about we the people, and he says that we take liberty, justice, equality and fraternity as our guiding principles. And those guiding principles being brought into the society politically with the acceptance of the constitution, it is still a lot of work needs to be done to get that acceptance to the economic level, to the social level. That is the struggle, that is the part of movement that we are getting into. That is what we are working towards. As I mentioned, I am a secretary for Ambedkar Association of North America, and there are a lot of Ambedkar organizations working in India, and that's the basic principle that we are working on. We find these principles are rooted in Buddhism. We find that Buddhism, from Baba Sahib's point of view, is a socially engaged Buddhism. And we'll touch base upon that during our talk. So that is what is our inspiration, that is what is our base to come to the forum and get Buddhism as the platform, as the inspiration, as the source, as the philosophy for us to strive for social justice, that injustice that we see in and around India, and that is what we are working towards. So thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Pankaj. What I'd like to do is just have people sort of speak briefly, and maybe we can actually even have a conversation. That would be remarkable. So the next panelist is Marlai. She's a Cambodian genocide survivor, a learner, an educator, an activist, and a Buddhist practitioner. She's an advocate for social justice and gender equality, and she works particularly in her Cambodian Khmer community. Marlai wears multiple hats in promoting well-being in this community, which includes teaching the Khmer language at the Nagara Dhamma Temple in San Francisco. And preserving and sharing Khmer culture, working to revive the Bhikkhuni movement in the Khmer community, and using the Buddhist teachings to promote harmonious and prosperous society. She has multiple degrees, including a doctorate in educational leadership from San Francisco State University. And we are honored to have you with us here this afternoon. And you can tell us about your community and your work there.
Hi everybody. How are we doing today? Are we awake? Yes? Yes? All right. Thank you, Alan, for the introduction. Before I jump into the topic, I would like to walk us through a brief history of where I came from. I'm Cambodian, that is also called Khmer. Cambodia is a country, but the official English name for Cambodia is the Kingdom of Cambodia. Cambodia derived from a French word, Campuche, which is a French transliteration of Khmer word, Kampuchea. So, as Cambodian, our greatest prize is the Khmer Empire, okay, which is the powerful state in the 1802 to 1432 Common Era. And our greatest, at its peak time, our empire, what we know as today as Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, and Sarwang, Vietnam. Our greatest king, our empire king, was Jeroman VII. So he reigned from 1182 to 1215. So as Cambodian, we were great builders. We built like stunning temples, such as the Angkor Wat, which is the largest Buddhist temple in the world. Okay. So we have also a great master, and our latest great master is Brahma Samrat Hozan. He basically he was fighting for Buddhism and for human rights since 1978 till his passing of 2007. And so with all these great things, great history, we also had wars, atrocity, genocide. This is what led to the topic of social justice and how we can engage that with Buddhism. So many immigrants came here as voluntarily to improve their lives. However, Cambodian came here as refugee to escape a persecution from the war ended, from the Vietnam War that was ended. Unlike our neighboring country, Cambodian also experienced genocide. During 1975 to 1979, educated people, intellectual people were seen as enemy of the state. As the result, many of them, most of them, were killed. So an estimate of 1.7 to 2.2 million Cambodians were killed during this four years. So as you can see, the refugees came here, they were mostly uneducated. They came here with limited English language, knowledge of the education system, and a lot of us are left with trauma element here. So most of the Cambodian parents did not know how to advocate for their kids. And oftentimes, the kids are left to struggle on their own. And so as refugee family here, live in the US, we live in poor neighborhoods with lack of opportunity, filled with violence sometimes. So therefore, some of our children, got involved in criminal activity. They had no resource to go. This is the reason why Cambodian community or refugee that face deportation today. Okay, so these people have already, in the next first week of July, for example, 50 Cambodians across the US are in danger to be deported to Cambodia. These people were children from the refugee time, and they have served their time. They have jobs, they have businesses, and they have trained to become better. Okay? However, they're being deported because they are not US citizens, and their green cards are being stripped away from them. Now, as Buddhists, we all been taught, right, to welcome, to encourage those who have changed for the better. However, deportation does just the opposite. deportation breaks family and our community apart and put their family in emotional and financial stress for life. All of this started because of the law from 1996, created by the immigration law that started by the bombing of the Oklahoma City in 1995. That was done by an American terrorist. However, this law was punished or made to punish refugee and immigrant. So this is where social injustice is we're talking about here. So